bit about Auba in terms of, I think he scored 13 goals this season, which for him is quite a low return for a season.
Well, we talked that for months, obviously, the ratio of goals that we need him to score to give us the best possible chance to be at the top is not been what it's been in recent years, and it's a factor that is contributed by a lot of things that the team has to do on the pitch. It's not just his thing, but obviously we need Auba in a different form in the next games to give us our best chance as well to finish where we want to finish the season. That's clear.
And people have speculated since he signed this new contract, he's sort of dropped off his levels a bit. Is that anything connected with that at all?
No, it's easy to connect things when I relate it like that, but I'm not suspicious of that. I've seen, and we had many conversations about what he wanted to do from last year's point of view to his near future in the next 2 years, and he was very ambitious with that. But then to maintain that level as well, it's really complicated. But he's trying his best, he's trying hard, and that's what he's aiming to do.
Where do you see his best position? Do you see it through the middle or playing as one of the two slightly off the front man?
He can play off the left, off the right, in the middle. He's done it. It's nothing new, you know. And when you look at his stats in the past, there's not a big difference. But depends on how we play and how much we provide him and how efficient he is when he has these chances, when he has these movements, when he's got this form of confidence when he's unstoppable. It's a lot of dependent of many factors.
And can I just talk briefly about another sort of veteran player, David Luiz? He's played pretty much every game since the turn of the year. Does this sort of rest 2 weeks give him a chance to sort of play pretty much the rest of the season now?
Well, I'm sure that some players were looking for that rest. It's a lot of players that played an insane amount of minutes and games in the last 2 months. David has done that, and at his age as well, shows a lot of credit and desire from his side, and he's done really, really well. So now he had a period to rest a little bit and recharge the batteries, and have some really good training sessions as well. So hopefully everybody's ready to go and have the final push.
He's been the one sort of constant in the middle of your defence pretty much this season. Has the fact that he hasn't really had a settled defensive partner, has that been a bit of an issue concerning the goals you've been conceding in recent weeks?
I think the goals that we have conceded, they've been more related about other factors more than defensive organization. This is my opinion and what we've been looking at in the last few weeks. But obviously, when you talk about the back four and you want some consistency, it's much better to repeat that. For many circumstances, we haven't been able to do that this season, but I think David's performances have been really strong.
And just finally, I mean, I think his 34th birthday is this week. I think you stopped playing at 34. How much longer can he go on playing at this sort of level, do you think?
You can have some really good examples of defenders that they've been playing up to 37, 38. I think it depends, first of all, to be injury-free. That's key. And then the ambition, the eager, and how you are as a professional. If you have those ingredients as a defender, I think you can get away a little bit more, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. And finally, we'll go to Gary Jacob from the Times.
Morning, Mikel. In the international break, Odegaard said that stability and development were the key words for him for his career. I mean, is that a strong hint that he would like to stay with you? And can you use that to perhaps start talks and perhaps try and do a deal before anyone else gets in there, given his form since he's joined you?
I don't know. I don't like to read between the lines, Gary. I speak with him every day. I see his face, his body language, and he seems really happy right now here. And our contract with him is until the end of the season. What we have to do is try to make him perform, develop, and be as happy as he can be. And that the team is going to be reflecting in better performance, better results, and at the end of the season, we will see where we are, and I would have that discussion.
You mentioned sort of the support you've had from the owner. Does the backing this summer depend on what you now do for the rest of the season? Is it unconditional backing? or do you have to generate some income this year from player sales? How is it going to work this summer? Because you've said it's been an unprecedented summer.
Yeah, I think these three factors are really relevant, but I wouldn't isolate one of them, because we know what we want to do, and within the plan that we put together, we know that there are certain scenarios that can vary and we cannot really control, and they're going to be dependent on things that today we cannot determine. But the plan is to go ahead with what we want, and I know that they fully agree with that, and they've been really supportive with us.
You've got 9 league games and Europa League games. How do you treat the games, Mikel? Is it almost like a mini season for you? How will you go about treating these?
Like a final, every game for us is a final. The 3 points means a lot in the table, and we need to go for them. So we need to win as many games as possible. We know that. And then Europa League, yeah, you have 5 games till you have that cup in your hands, but you have to go game by game, because every game in Europe is tremendously difficult. As Slavia Prague, you've seen the results that they got against some top sides, some that's play in this country, and they're in a better position than us. So that's the level, and you cannot get surprised by the thinking a different way.
Do you have any particular thoughts on the new Champions League format? I mean, it seems to kind of lean on teams with history, and obviously Arsenal have got that with the coefficient. I mean, as a sort of football man, do you have a particular view on that change, or this proposed change?
I need more clarity for what is going to be proposed, the timings of it, the reasons why, how this is going to be developed over the years, to have a real answer to that.
Thank you. There's one more. Just, obviously, going back to the 9 games in Europa League and the changes, have you already? Is the next period going to define a bunch of players in your squad, and whether you decide to make them available this summer or not, or in your mind, have you already decided what's going to happen over the summer?
In some cases, we have decided. In some of the cases, there are things that still to be decided.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.